For this Shield Hero episode, I think something interesting that I have to say is the interaction between Raphtalia and Shieldina, the water dragon Miku, even though I could have sworn that she said Zodia last episode, but whatever. So Shieldina, her conversation with Raphtalia, and trying to essentially get a good grasp on what Raphtalia wants, and her originally not really wanting to be Empress or Emperor, and now she wants to because she wants to help the people there. And I do find it interesting because we now meet the Emperor of the nation, and it makes a lot of sense now, a lot of his rulings. And as I suspected, it's this bitch that is controlling everything, but I think she is mainly influencing him, which we'll get to. But first, let's backtrack to their conversation. It is a lot into the fact that she is trying to do things diplomatically, trying to see if the rebels can surrender and maybe they can make them into a faction and stuff. Trying to keep things calm, even though that's the problem. It's not going to work because everyone's angry with the government. And if they even surrender, they're screwed. So, no, Raphtalia basically denies this and obviously is telling her that of all the problems that the government has done and all the other shenanigans that they've had to get through, and why this rebellion has to happen, and a change of leadership. So the change comes down to, if that's the case and they win, then the thing would be if Raphtalia could please take the crown off of the emperor, which is Raphtalia. I'm just gonna use the short term Roofed. Or just emperor, I guess, because he is the current emperor. So yes, there is that kind of going along. That, I mean, it kind of ends in a more peaceful way. She basically retreats with all of the government soldiers and allows things to be peaceful. And while, like, before we get to her section with her conversation with the emperor and this bitch, we also have to acknowledge that Raphtalia, they got her like a coronation ceremony because she basically told Naofumi and Sadina that, yeah, she's gonna go through with it and become emperor. And yeah, she basically is accepted into it and is able to give power-ups to Naofumi, Filo, and all the others. As well as the fact that I do like the conversation Naofumi kind of has about how things have gotten better, how another hero wording has appeared, the whole thing about they have to work together to be powerful, and that, yeah, whenever they were facing against the priests, they were all powerful, and when they're kind of divided, it kind of causes a few problems. Outside of Naofumi, because he obviously worked the hardest, but I do like the reflection on a lot of things, and them getting a new ability, Energy Boost, and showing us that, like, Itsuki's still affected by his thing. Ren is definitely still affected, because he grabbed the sword and it fucking deteriorated. But that's because of his, his Curse Series After Effect, which, I mean, that kind of sucks. But yeah, everyone's getting their power-ups and stuff, and we backtrack to them basically speaking with the others, with Melty, Ren, and I forgot this one's name. And I also like that they brought Ren, gave him the energy boost, and he even said he wanted to give Motoyatsu, but they don't know where he is, and he's just doing his own thing, and he has Philolials with him. So, oh man, that makes me think of his spin-off. I'll talk about it one day. But I gotta get through the book, and I mean, it's a lot of interesting things. But anyway, I do wanna go back with the Shieldina section where she's talking to the emperor, and I mean, it's a kid, and yeah, she disobeyed orders, and under normal circumstances she would be killed, but these are special, and yeah, this is where a problem comes in, because she's trying to see if she can convince the emperor to undo his ways and stuff, or to try to change things, because his views on things are pretty childish, and unfortunately he could, but this bitch right here is quite literally manipulating things. So he basically forces himself to force an order to have Shieldina to attack the rebels, which obviously goes against the whole peaceful process. And yeah, this bitch is obviously planning, saying that, I mean, things have run their course, so that means that something else is gonna happen, something big from the looks of it. And yeah, the episode ends with essentially a fight with Shieldina basically drinking herself in order to, I guess, numb the pain and pick a fight with Raphtalia and the others. So pretty tragic ending of this episode, but hey, everything in this one is giving everyone the power-ups they need to effectively fight against the government at this point. But overall, it was a pretty good episode. Had a lot of interesting things, had a lot of growth for Raphtalia, and honestly, I was pretty intrigued on Naofumi and his reflection on all of the stuff that's happened and how much, honestly, he has grown as well as the other heroes to an extent.